who was a hitting coach for the Twins and also had him in the minor leagues as well. Tony, what did you do exactly with Kirby that made him such a powerhouse, such a home run hitter?
Well, I got him in 1983 when he started in the minor league. Yeah, I know he got a lot of power. But in 85, when I went to the big league, I worked with him. I talked to him a lot. Yeah, I tell Kirby, you know, if we do a little big and change a little big, you may be able to hit home runs too, because he used to hit the ball most of the time to right field. And when we change a little big, I hit balls in the spring training out of the ballpark. He liked what he saw. And he started changing a little bit, the left kick. And he hit balls out of the ballpark in spring training. And he did it so well in spring training in 1986 or 87 that he did the same thing during the season. And he keep hitting home runs because we were lucky because he was a good hitter always. But when he changed a little bit, he hit home runs too, that make it a lot easier for him.
What type of person is Kirby Puckett exactly as far as being a player down for you as a teammate? You see him, he's got electricity just coming out of him, doesn't he?
For me, you know, I've been in baseball for 40 years, and he was the best ball player that I ever have a chance to work with. He came to the ballpark every day, ready to work, ready to play. He all the time is listening and ready to try different things. And look, he's the first one in the ballpark every day. I'm proud he's the last one to leave the ballpark, and he practices every day. One thing we practice every day hitting, and he never got enough.
Now, Bill Mazeroski could barely get through his speech. I think Kirby's going to be able to get through his, do you think?
Oh, no, he's the best.
Yeah, he's going to get through.
He'll get through quickly and fast and good. He's good. It's very hard for Mazeroski. I know how he's feeling. Sometimes, you know, you're there and you think you're ready to do it. But sometimes you forget the word. You go blank, and this is what happened to him. I know I know how he feeling. You know, I feeling very happy for him that this ain't happen, but I know how he feeling. I think for me it was a good speech anyway.
Oh, it was indeed an overwhelming moment. Three-time batting champion Tony Oliva. Thank you, Tony. Carl, back to you.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Many believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. Baseball tonight comes your way, 7 o'clock Eastern Time tonight over on ESPN. Billy Pito and Brian McRae manning the ship for us. Kurt Schilling goes for his 16th win. The NL West race continues to be the hottest in baseball. Find out what Barry Bonds does against the Philadelphia Phillies. The A's, they hope their cards are wild. So do several other teams, including the Indians and the Red Sox. And the Sunday Web Gems, that's tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
He corks it to left center and chased by Puckett. He caught it! Into deep left center for Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
And you'll see that today, 4:30 Eastern Time when we're through here. Game 6, Kirby's game. Braves and Twins on ESPN Classic.
Listen here. He went far enough for me.
Don't you be intimidating me.
I'm not intimidating you, but I'm going to tell you something.
Mickey used to say that Billy Martin is the only man alive that could hear somebody giving him the finger across the room.
That's beautiful. Billy Martin, two-parter, Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and then Wednesday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You heard Dave Winfield thank many people. One of them was Billy Martin, who managed him in New York. Sports Century's coverage of the game's greatest continues Tuesday and Wednesday. Our coverage of the induction ceremonies continue. Puck is next.
This ESPN Classic program is presented by Budweiser. With the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
Beer is like a natural food product. The fresher it is, the better it tastes. That's why Budweiser has 12 local breweries right here in the United States. So you know our beer will always be fresh.
This Bud's for you. And you and you and you. This Bud's for you. How was work? Fine. How was school? Fine.
Gee, guys, what's the hurry there, huh?
Season finale starts in 3 minutes.
You know, if you had TiVo, you could record every episode of any show and then watch them whenever you want. Automatically record your favorite shows all season long. Now TV fits into your life, not the other way around. TiVo, TV and dinner your way.
Are you ready to ask your doctor about Viagra?
I'm ready. Ready as anybody can be. I'm ready. Ready as anybody can be.
Get ready.
All right.
Ask your doctor if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
Well, I'm ready for you. I hope you're ready for me.
Welcome back, everyone. Cooperstown, New York, on a glorious day to celebrate baseball's past and present. The induction ceremonies on ESPN Classic continue. Dave Winfield has spoken, as has Kirby Puckett. He's about to, I should say, Bill Mazeroski. We heard from sort of a joke from Tony Oliva suggesting there's not going to be a problem with Kirby Puckett speaking.
No, Kirby he's got a lot of energy. He understands what it's all about. But he'll be entertaining. I'm looking forward to hearing what Kirby's got to say. He was always entertaining, Buck, particularly as a player.
He was not entertaining to play against or manage against. You know, watching Tony Oliva, though, there was one guy. That was one guy that during his era everyone talked about, and I'm a little surprised he's not in the Hall of Fame. Everybody I ever talked to that played against Tony Oliva, I've had pitcher after pitcher after pitcher said he was the toughest out they ever had to get. He could hit any line drive, hit any pitch, handle it well, and you know, some injuries really shortened his career.
A tremendous instructor, Tony Oliva, and we're talking about Kirby Puckett today. Tony Oliva had a big part in him. I know he was real modest in his speech there with Brian Kenny, but he taught Kirby Puckett that leg kick that Kirby has that generated the power, and that transformed his game because Kirby Puckett was really, Carl, a guy that had speed, would hit the ball hard on the ground and played great defense. He didn't have that power part of his game until Tony Oliva really got a hold of him and added that leg kick, and then he started driving the ball.
It's easy to look at the inductees today and look at Winfield and say, look at the body, physical stature, natural ability, 5'2" player. But the fact is, when Puckett was in his prime, he did everything Winfield did.
Well, he had great skills, could do it all. And, you know, the one thing that when we got ready to acquire a player, when you were making trades and everything, the one thing I always tried to do, Carl, was call the visiting clubhouse guy with our team or call the home clubhouse guy. You can't fool those guys, you know. And the way Kirby Puckett treated people who could be of no possible use to him, the ushers, parking attendants, the clubhouse guys, they always had something great to say about him. And it's a great, I've let out a secret, that's how you trade for players, call the clubhouse guys.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's important to be a people person, but I think also, back to the baseball part of Kirby Puckett, the way he played the game with aggressiveness, the great throwing arm, the intelligence, he was tremendous. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr.
All right, let's get a feel for what Kirby Puckett was able to do on the field, and he only played for 12 years.
The center fielder, number 34, Kirby Puckett. Kirby leaps and grabs it. He got it. Oh, Kirby Puckett leaps and they took great catch. Holy Toledo.
The Twins go to the 7th game. Touch them all, Kirby Puckett.
I'm just here to tell Lou Gehrig that tonight, Kirby Puckett is the luckiest man in the world.
Kirby Puckett, you see his numbers, the .318 average, 10 All-Star teams, a couple of World Series titles, the 5 200-hit seasons, a great player on the field, a terrific person off the field, and with more on that, here's Peter Gammons.
The center fielder, number 34, Kirby Puckett.
Kirby Kirby Puckett was only 34 when blurred vision in his right eye cut short his brilliant career. During his 12 seasons with the Twins, he had 2,304 hits, a .318 average, 1,085 RBI, and 2 World Series rings. Yet, true to his ebullient self, he never felt sorry for himself.
I had to quit the game that I love. I had to be retired out of the game. I didn't get to go on my own terms, but I just thank God that I played the way that I played those 12 years previously, that when I had to get out of the game, I could look in the mirror still to this day and just say, you know what? Not one day that I walk on the field and take this game for granted.
Everybody has probably a sad song to sing. You won't hear Kirby sing it, and I think that's also what makes him a little bit special.
That's just the way he is.
He was a guy I liked. He was a guy I respected. He's a guy that performed. He's a person who loved his craft. And, you know, as much as anybody, Kirby is Minnesota Twins.
He was one player that I can honestly say, you know, played the game the way it was supposed to be played, and made sure that when the umpire said play ball, that is what he did. He went out and he played ball, and he played it about as hard as anyone.
I never set out to win gold gloves or do this or do this. Those just came from me just playing the way that I played. The only way that I know how. Ever since I was 5 years old, this is what I wanted to do. And I did it the way, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing.
He never cared that his rain barrel puck body was once mocked.
So many people told me that I would never play professional baseball. So many people told me I was too short. I couldn't do this. I didn't hit with power. I didn't do this. I would never be able to do this. And I'm here to say to them, you were wrong.
And he never forgot where he came from.
You talk about a kid that grew up in the projects, you know, in a place where the police dubbed a place where hope died. I wasn't going to be a product of my environment. I wanted more out of life. I knew that I had a special something about me, and I wanted to get to experience that.
No player who began his career in the 20th century amassed more hits in his first 10 seasons, but it was his boundless enthusiasm, puck being puck, as teammate Bob Tewksbury once put it, that his teammates remember more than any time he went over the wall or homered. He was a superstar who considered himself no different than a utility man like Al Newman, and he loved life in the clubhouse.
He might have loved the clubhouse more than playing. He just loved that atmosphere, the kibitzing, the fooling in the clubhouse, the camaraderie in the clubhouse. That's why he got here so early. I really think he loved walking in that door.
He just made everybody around him, you know, happy, put a smile on your face, and I think any time that you're happy, you play better.
He made it a good place to come to work. He really did. He made it fun to come through that door each and every day.
Kirby's signature day was one of the greatest performances in a World Series. The Twins had come back for the 6th game of the '91 series, down 3-2 to the Braves. As usual, Puck was the first player in the clubhouse.
I came to the clubhouse that day, and it was really, really quiet. It was like a morgue in the clubhouse. And I remember saying, man, guys, there's nobody dead, or nobody died. We still alive.
He just wasn't talking to talk. He meant it. He'd feel good about himself on a given day and know he was going to do well, and he'd carry it along.
And I remember I went in the clubhouse after batting practice. I got everybody. I said, everybody together. We have a little short meeting. Everybody comes in. I said, guys, I just have one announcement to make. You guys should jump on my back tonight. I'm going to carry us. And everybody went, yeah, Puck's got us, Puck's got us.
Puckett had 3 hits that night. His leaping catch in the 3rd inning off a Ron Gant drive to the fence kept the Twins alive. In the 11th inning, his home run off Charlie Leibrandt won the game 4-3 and pushed the series to a 7th game. The following night, Jack Morris won 1-0 in 10 innings, and Puck was on his way to Cooperstown.
That's why he was a leader, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, because he was able to help his teammates. He made everybody around him better. That was Kirby Puckett.
It's my honor, Kirby, to welcome you into the Hall of Fame family. If I could ask Commissioner Seelig back to the podium to read the inscription on Kirby's plaque.
Kirby Puckett, Minnesota Twins, American League, 1984 to 1995. A proven team leader with an ever-present smile and infectious exuberance, who led the Minnesota Twins to World Series championships in 1987 and 1991. Over 12 seasons, he hit for power and average, batting .318 with 414 doubles, 207 home runs. Also a prolific run producer, scored 1,071 runs, drove in 1,085 runs in 1,783 games. A six-time Gold Glove winner who patrolled center field with elegance and style, routinely scaling outfield walls to take away home runs. The 10-time All-Star career ended prematurely because of an unfortunate eye problem. Welcome to Cooperstown, Kirby.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before I get to a few words I prepared, I would like to thank Commissioner Seelig, the organizers here at the Hall of Fame, and all these great players for being here with me today. Particularly my fellow inductees, Dave Winfield, Mr. Mazeroski himself, and to the family of Hilton Smith. I'm overwhelmed by the number of great fans who have traveled all the way from Minnesota or wherever you came from. You are the best. I also see some of my former teammates out there. It's awesome that you guys took the time to be with me today. When I asked my family for advice about my talk today, they were quick to tell me to keep it short, so I will. The only problem I have with that request is the time I need to thank all the people who have helped me get here today. Because you don't get to where I am today without help from a lot of people. I hope those I leave out will excuse me, but I want to thank the coaches who taught me the fundamentals of baseball. Dewey Kelm of Bradley University and Bob Simmons of Triton Junior College, who also taught me some of the important fundamentals of life. To Carl and Eloise Polad, and the entire Minnesota Twins organization, as well as all the many teammates I played with throughout my career, including my buddy Dave Winfield. I can't tell you what a joy it is to be inducted with a friend. The tremendous guys I played against on all the other teams. Teron Washington, my first roommate. In those days, we didn't have any of them single rooms like guys have today. He was my big league father, and he showed me the ropes as I broke in the big leagues. My manager and friend, Tom Kelly. He led our teams to world championships, and he hasn't lost his edge today. To my good friend, Tony Oliva. An awesome hitter who helped me to become a better hitter with his tremendous knowledge of this game. I hope to be here next year listening to you give your induction speech, Tony. I love you. The amazing public address announced voice of the Minnesota Twins, Bob Casey, who taught the world how to say my name.
I also want to thank Ron Shapiro, Michael Moss, Brian Woods, and everyone at Shapiro Robinson and Associates. Ron, you're not only my agent, but one of my best friends. You've taught me so much about life and how to treat people. And I want you to know that I love and respect you very much, Ron. Thank you so much. To my mom and dad, and I'll talk more about them later. To my brother Ronnie, who's here. My sisters June, Francis, and Jackie, all my sisters and brothers, who follow my mom's orders to never let their little brother's clothes get dirty. I was the cleanest kid in the ghetto. And most importantly, my beautiful wife, Tanya, who has been there with me through a lot of the highs and lows of my career, and who has taken such great care of our life's greatest blessings, my babies, Catherine and Kirby Jr. I love you, Tanya, and thank you for all that you have done for me, and you'll always be there for me, and thanks for babysitting me for 16 years, sweetie. I appreciate it. And to Catherine and Kirby Jr., you will never know how much your daddy loves you. I had a lot of help getting here today, and some great role models along the way. My on-the-field heroes were the great Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, and Willie Mays. I wanted to be like them on the field, and I'm so damn proud to join them in the Hall of Fame. My off-the-field heroes, the people who gave me the values to live by, and who inspired me with their hard work and unselfish dedication to their family, with my mom, Catherine, and my dad, William. My only regret is that they and my two brothers, Donnie and Spencer, could not be physically here today. I do know that they are here spiritually, and Mom's probably looking down right now and thinking about all those spankings she gave me for hitting balls through neighbors' windows and breaking lamps and breaking everything in the house. I want to tell Mom, well, Mom, I hope you can see now that it was worth it. Your little baby is going into the Hall of Fame. There may be a few people out there who remember a time when the word on Kirby Puckett was that he was too short or didn't have enough power to make it to the big leagues. Well, despite the fact that I didn't get to play all the years that I wanted to, I did it. And to any young person out there, if anyone tells you you can't do what you want to do and be what you want to be, I wanted to play baseball ever since I was 5 years old. And I want you to remember the guiding principles of my life. You can be what you want to be if you believe in yourself and you work hard, because anything, and I'm telling you, anything is possible. It doesn't matter if you're 5'8" like Kirby Puckett or you 6'6" like my man Winnie. You can do it. And don't feel sorry for yourself if obstacles get in your way. Our great Twins World Series teams faced great odds, and we beat them. Jackie Robinson faced odds and made this game truly the national game. And I faced odds when glaucoma took the bat out of my hands. But I didn't give in or feel sorry for myself. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It may be cloudy in my right eye, but the sun is shining very brightly in my left eye. And just think how the sun has shined right up to the door of this great hall, the shrine for the greatest game in the world and the greatest players in the world, baseball. We call it the national game because of its great and unique history. And it doesn't matter where you came from the projects like me in Chicago or the gated communities of Beverly Hills. And because it doesn't matter what race, creed, or national origin you are, black, white, Hispanic, Japanese, or whatever, it just matters how you play the game. And I played it with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my might. I played the game and tried to live my life in a way that would make the people that I love and care about proud. So, to my late parents, my 2 brothers who recently passed away, my remaining 3 brothers and sisters, all of my sisters and brother-in-laws, my mother-in-law, my nieces and nephews, and all the many friends that I have, and most importantly, my wife Tanya, and my children Catherine and Kirby Jr., I hope I've made you proud. I have been blessed with so much and so many to be thankful for. And I have been blessed to play the greatest game for the greatest fans in the world. And I now join the greatest players in the Hall of Fame. For all of this, I say thank God, thank you. Love you all, thank you.
Induction class of 2001.
Well, there you see him, folks. The class of 2001. Left to right, Bill Mazeroski, Dave Winfield, the son of Hilton Smith, DeMaurice Smith, and Kirby Puckett. We'll hear from all of them when we come back. Smith and Kirby Puckett now join the 249 others, making it 253 different people who have been selected to baseball's Hall of Fame. And Kirby Puckett basically does everything by the book, except off the field, where you see him be a different type of person. Nobody has really embraced other people the way I've seen Puckett do it. Having spoken to, and you know as many baseball players as you do, he's your buddy. Even if you don't know him very well, they call you by a nickname, he just makes you feel very comfortable, and he made this crowd feel pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that's the personality of Kirby Puckett. It's just infectious. And I remember when he got hit in spring training by Dennis Martinez's fastball, and you got the word that Kirby wasn't going to be able to play anymore. And I was in a batting cage with one eye trying to hit, and I was figuring out, if I can hit with one eye, I know Kirby can't, because he was twice the hitter I was. So, Buck, I thought he only needed one eye to hit. He should have kept playing.
I know. You know, and the thing about it, when have you ever heard somebody mention the PA announcer? I swear, I thought this guy hit every inning. Every time Bob Casey would announce this guy, I'd turn to Clete Boyer, the bench coach, and I'd go, does this guy hit every inning? You know, and so many people talk about, well, I play the game 100%. I give the game 100%. Well, Kirby Puckett did. You know, a lot of people say they think they're giving 100%, but they really pace themselves. You know, you see them play, you know, hard in spurts and this, whatever. But Kirby Puckett, I remember watching him run on and off the field the last 2 or 3 years of his career. I mean, this guy ran everywhere. You knew he appreciated where he was.
Well, this is an example of baseball, a baseball player. You know, so often we talk about statistics to get you into the Hall of Fame. Kirby Puckett is in the Hall of Fame because of the way he handled people and the way he played the game. His numbers didn't allow himself to get to the numbers of a lot of Hall of Famers because of the injury, but because of the way he carried himself and played the game, that's why we're in Cooperstown celebrating Kirby Puckett.
No question about it, and few can relate to a city the way, or are related with the city the way Puckett is with Minnesota. I mean, for all the great sports teams Minnesota's had, only 2 championships professionally, and both belong to the Twins, and both involved Kirby Puckett. And you mentioned earlier that Dave Winfield lived up to his potential. Well, Kirby Puckett's one of those guys who walked into that clubhouse prior to Game 6 after losing 3 games in that World Series and said, whatever variation of it, I'm driving the bus. Let me take you, and he took him.
Yeah, he did. Get on my back, fellas. Buck, you have a player like that? You ever have any?
I have had some that went about it that way, but they never said it and put themselves on the line like that.
That's tough to do, to actually go out and do it. You know, we saw that in hockey with Messier, but sometimes that's a risk you got to take. And baseball is such a team sport. For an individual to be able to do it, how do you do that?
Well, you got to have opportunity to do it, too. I mean, Kirby understood the game. He hit third in that lineup. He knew that he was the guy that, if situations came up, he was going to get a chance to drive them into. Plus, opportunity. I mean, we talk so much about the catch Willie Mays made over the shoulder. That became a signature catch. Well, Kirby Puckett's Game 6 in that World Series, becomes a signature thing that you identify with Kirby Puckett. And Buck, the thing that stands out in my mind about great players, when you reach the status of single-namedness, is that properly said?
Yes.
Single name, Reggie, Kirby, you're doing some big things in the fall when it counts.
Or initials, HR. That kind of starts right there, too.
My fall work is all watching or working with you guys.
We won't talk about my initials, all right?
Exactly, because I think we've gotten enough of that on this program. When we come back, not from any of the guys going into the Hall of Fame, but we will hear from all those guys, Mr. Mazeroski, Mr. Winfield, and Mr. Puckett. That and more as our induction ceremonies continue. So that had a chance to witness the induction ceremonies today also got a big thrill, but this certainly must be a big thrill for Brian Kenny to be sitting on stage with three of the guys who got inducted today. Brian?
Carl, thank you very much. We are here with the class of 2001, Bill Mazeroski, Dave Winfield, and Kirby Puckett. As I sit here, I said I don't belong in this picture, and I come back over among the all-time greats. Let's start with you, Bill, because you didn't get a lot to say in your speech. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, I think, is the official time of your speech. The short. It is a record, Dave.
That might be the record longest for mine. I know, I just couldn't handle it. I'm that way. That's the way I am.
It was an overwhelming moment for all of us, too. I think a lot of people got choked up who are listening. What is in your heart right now, Bill? What are you thinking?
Just, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just get, when I talk about it, I get choked up.
I know David, Kirby had told me last night that, you know, I'm not going to lose it. I'm going to hold out because I know Dave's going to lose it. But you didn't lose it. Do you think, how is it to get up here and you look out and you see your brothers and sisters out there and you see all the coaches and for both of you, it must have been overwhelming too, where you think, I've got to keep it under control. How was it?
Well, you don't necessarily have to keep it under control. I mean, it was great for me, and just to see my family and all my friends and all these Twins fans that came from Minnesota and everywhere to come see us. I mean, to me, this is special. I mean, as a kid, I never thought about me being in Cooperstown. I'm kind of like Maz. I get kind of choked up when I think about it. And just to think where we are today and where we came from and what we had to do to get here, I mean, we did it. And so now we can pretty much celebrate. And Maz, I mean, I didn't cry for myself, but I cried for Maz because that was so inspirational, man. And that's the way Maz is. And you saw Winnie speak his eloquent self, and he spoke. And then I get up there and I have my things and I study and I say what I was supposed to say, and I got the hell out of there. So that's what I did.
Dave, you said, the sooner I get into the Hall of Fame, the better. Your thoughts, I mean, you look back at all your years, there's just a lot of, it must just flood through your mind, all the things you have to think about.
Well, part of it, I mean, I had a different journey than some. I mean, Kirby played for one team, Maz played for one team. I played for 6 to make up my entire career. And there were a lot of people from each organization, each city that contributed to my success. And so I had to acknowledge them. There was almost no way to condense it. I mean, I'm a guy, I just appreciate what everybody did for me. I never expected to be in a Hall of Fame. I can just tell everybody, I just loved baseball. I just loved baseball. And it just stuck with me. You know, I was just very fortunate to find something I loved, and I did it for a long time, and this was the end of the road. Just like I mentioned, all these guys up here had different journeys. Mine was a little different, just like Kirby's and Maz, but we're all here today.
You all mentioned somebody different that you looked up to, admired, that are now just sitting behind you, that are now, you're in that club. Yeah. You forget that you're fans looking at these players and you're saying, hey, there's Willie Mays. What is it like to be here, look back and say, wow, there it is. There are all the baseball cards.
Well, I can tell you for me, it was great. I mean, just riding over on the bus and just getting to hang out with all these guys and for them to welcome you into the family. I mean, and just sit down and just talk to them like you've been with them the whole time. I mean, that is so special. And just to feel wanted and to know that them guys are happy for me and bring me into the family, this very, very small family, I might add, and just be a part of it. I mean, for me, I wasn't choked up when I spoke, but I'm sure after this is over and I get on the bus or whatever, I'm going to be choked up, man, because this was very, very special.
What was it like for you then, Dave?
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is a beautiful group of guys. I mean, that to be in this club, a lot of dedication, hard work, love of the game, and these were the guys who were pinned up on my wall. These are I mean, I'm telling you, when I first got to the big leagues and a guy like Willie Mays hit a ball to me in the outfield, I'm supposed to be a grown man, professional and all that. I caught that ball. I said, oh, man, Willie Mays hit that ball. You know, and then with Willie McCovey, Gibson, people that I took something from to become who I am. Either the way they played, their demeanor off the field, all these things were important to me in my life.
Bill, I am getting back to you. I know a thrill for me. I get to talk to Lou Brock. I said, you must have gone into Bill a few times. He said there was a bounty to take him off his feet. $50 back in the day. It's only $50, but it meant something to him at the time. Nobody could take you off your feet. You must have those recollections now. Come back and see the players from behind you.
I've played against most of these guys. I'm older. See, I'm much older than these two guys, and I played against most of them, and I knew how they played, and I watched them play. And it's just a thrill to be here and be amongst them, and just to be able to sit down and, you know, shoot the bull with them. Baseball has always been, we agitate each other, we have a lot of fun, we're a very close-knit family, and just, we always sit around and talk in the locker room forever, and to do that with the Hall of Famers and the guys you played with and respect is really a great thrill.
The ultimate club. Dave, I know a time to be gracious for you. I know 8 years with the Yankees, 8 years with the Padres. You had to make a choice, but did mention George Steinbrenner in your speech, so that Yankee fans out there must be thinking, is he ours? Is he theirs? And what went through your mind there?
Well, more people in the future, they play for more teams. If they play as long as I did, might have the same situation. But really, the Padres were the first team I went with. You know, there was no ESPN and all these other channels way back then to see, but I spent a lot of time there. I grew up there. Became the player that an all-star player out there. So, hey, man, I love New York. I love San Diego and all the other places I played. I'm just really fortunate to have had good relationships. And even in New York, when a moment it was contentious for a long period of time, actually, it's good now, so I feel very good about that.
A time of reflection at this point. It must be a time for the families, too, where I think a similar vein in everyone's speech and all throughout the years is, I wanted to make them proud of me. You wanted to make people proud. Who are you making proud?
Well, I know that, like I said in my speech, my mom, I broke a lot of windows when I was a kid. I got in trouble a lot. I mean, I wasn't a bad kid, but just playing baseball where I wasn't supposed to play, end up hitting a home run, breaking somebody's window, and end up running. And I don't know why I did that, because everybody knew I played there, but it was just a natural instinct. And they come knocking on my door, and they tell my mom, and I get a spanking and get in trouble, but I had nowhere else to play. So I had to do what I had to do, and I took my punishment like a man or a little man, and I went on with it. So I know my mom and dad are looking down on me, and my brothers just passed away. I know them at that proud of me. My other sisters and brothers, my wife, everybody's here, man. I have people who come from Minnesota. So for me, man, this is my dream, and this is what I've been able to live. It was great.
Dave, I know your mom, too, raising you.
Yeah, I mean, very similar situation, single-parent family. I mean, I always got the support. But, when I played this game, I always felt like I was playing for other people as well. People in the community, my family, even when doing interviews, speak correct, express yourself correctly. Then you grow up and all of a sudden you're an employer, you're a parent, you represent your community. So I always kind of carried those extra things with me, but I think it spurred me on to do better things. Head of a foundation, doing good things for kids. How could I not walk I'd walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So I always felt that I was doing some things for other people as well.
And Bill, you didn't have a chance to thank all the people that you wanted to, I'm sure, but major influences and coming up, if you wanted to thank one or two people, who would it be, the major influences in your life?
My high school baseball coach is no longer with us. My dad's no longer. My mother's no longer. So it's just my immediate family, my two sons and my wife. It's just for them.
Any one teammate that comes to mind as you come up here today?
Bill Burton. There's a bunch of them out there today. Bill Burton and Dick Grote and Gene Alley. I played shortstop. They played shortstop most of my career. I wanted to thank them for what they did for me. They made the double play easy for me because the first throw has to be a good throw. They made that good throw. They had an accurate arm, and they made the throw easy. They didn't handcuff me, and that was half the battle, getting all the double plays that I got. And they're the big reason that I'm here today.
When you look at this now, are you guys going to be back here every year, joining the club?
I will. I'll never miss it as long as I live. I never
It's our second home. I'm coming back in the summertime. Believe that.
Bill, you coming back?
Yeah,
you'll be back. What was it like for your family? Give me one story of your family coming here where you get to, your wife gets to see you now, at this exalted position.
Well, just to see my sisters and my brothers, and I mean, just everybody, people I grew up with, people that I had something to do with me being here. My college coaches were here. I mean, so for me, I mean, the Twins aren't here, they're playing today, but they broadcasted this on the Jumbotron in the Metrodome. Just all the fans, man, because it's not just about me. I mean, I had great teammates. They put me in a position to do the things that I did, and I was very confident in my abilities. I was never afraid to fail. I just knew that if I was the man up to bat when the game was on the line, I was going to come through more than I made a mistake.
All three men have won World Series, and you pretty much won World Series winning hits. Folks, here you go. Bill Mazeroski, Dave Winfield, Kirby Puckett, the class of 2000. Carl, back to you.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. And you see the perhaps future Hall of Famer right there throwing a ball in the outfield. Congratulations from up here to Kirby Puckett, Dave Winfield, Bill Mazeroski, and Hilton Smith. We go from 2001, look ahead to 2002. The candidates include Ozzie Smith, the Hawk, Andre Dawson, the great Alan Trammell of the Detroit Tigers, and the catcher Gary Carter. Who will be on stage next year? We'll discuss that when we come back to Cooperstown.
This ESPN Classic program is presented by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you.
What are you doing?
At this year's induction ceremony from Cooperstown. We now continue our Hall of Fame Day celebration with a tribute to the newly inducted Kirby Puckett and his performance for the ages. Game 6 of the 1991 World Series. Fresh off his ALCS MVP performance, Puckett was really excited to chase that second World Series ring. The Twins trailed the Braves 3-2, but there was nothing like home sweet dome. ESPN Classic recently caught up with Puckett, and he reflected on the game of his life.
The story goes like this. We won the first 2 against the Braves here in town, and of course we 8-0 in the Metrodome in World Series. Thank God we had the home team home 4 games, and we're unbeaten at home, but on the road we're 0-6. So we went to Atlanta and we got chopped down by the chop, and I noticed that when we came back, I was telling guys, we got to be fortunate to be in this position. This is special. I said, I got guys that I grew up idolizing, Ernie Banks and Billy Williams, and they would have died for this chance, And I said, we have to enjoy it while we're here, because I mean, some guys play all their lives and they don't get a chance to do what we get ready to do. And Game 6, I came in the clubhouse, and I could tell that the Twins clubhouse is never quiet if you've ever been around. So I told the clubhouse boy, I said, cut the music off. And I said, guys, gather around, guys. I said, I got something I want to tell y'all. And I said, y'all can jump on my back tonight. I'm carrying us tonight. And everybody just went, yeah, they went crazy. And all of a sudden the clubhouse got loud again, like it's supposed to be. I'm like, it's nothing to be afraid of. I mean, we're here. If we do it, we're heroes. If we don't, we're goats, or we lost. There only could be one winner. And I said, don't worry, I'm going to carry us today. And in that game, I'll never forget, I think Avery was pitching, and or Glavin or whoever it was, and they started that game. I hit like a triple the first time at bat. Then I hit a sacrifice fly. And then the game comes on the line, and I'm on deck in the 11th inning or 10th inning or whatever it was, and Chili Davis and I on deck, and Bobby Cox, wanted to start the inning. He brought Charlie Liebrand in from the bullpen. I didn't think he was going to bring Charlie in. And I had some success against Charlie, so I got to 2-0, and he threw the next pitch with a changeup. I thought it was outside. The umpire called it a strike. I said, okay, I just want to make sure the ball's up. And Charlie threw the next pitch, and it was a changeup up, and I hit it, and I didn't know if I got it good enough. I thought it would hit off the glass. That's why I was running really hard. I didn't know, because I never take anything for granted. I run everything out, and I bust out of the box, and when I got around first base, the ball was out, and people were going crazy, and when I stepped around second base, I'm yelling. I see all my teammates waiting for me, and I'm yelling, yeah, because all my career, I had never actually stepped up to the plate and won a game with a home run. I've always come to the plate here in the Metrodome, and the bases were loaded in the 9th, and I've got that hit to win, or I've got that double, or that sacrifice fly, or whatever. But to end the game on a home run and have all your teammates waiting on you, I mean, it was special, man. It was unbelievable, and I guess I picked a good time to kind of do it, because it was a lot of fun, and I had a headache after they stopped banging on my head. But thank God that it happened the way that it did, because it got us to Game 7, and Jack Morris pitched the gem in 7, and we won.
Relive all the magic of that game and see firsthand why Puckett became a Hall of Famer. And stay with us. Brian Kenny offers a career retrospective on number 34. It's Game 6 of the 1991 World Series between the Braves and Twins, right here on ESPN Classic.
Oh, say, can you